Hello everyone, I'm Kaitlyn from the Cape May County Library, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do some Independence Day nail art. I'm doing this one a little bit different from my other videos. This is going to be more of a live tutorial. I've already painted my nails with a base coat, 2 coats of this white, which is OPI's Alpine Snow, and then a top coat. So I'm kind of just winging it today. I don't really have too much of a plan. But I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques. So we're going to use the dotted cure that I've shown you already. I have this nail tape that I'll show you how to use, which I have struggled with so much in the past. So I think I've got it down now. We'll see. I've also been digging through my art closet and found these rhinestones, so I'm going to play with those a little bit too. So this is already dry, and we're going to start with... We'll start with the dotted cure since that is something that is generally pretty easy. So I have my sticky note here, kind of tried and true method. I'm going to do this Wet n Wild red color. It doesn't have a name, but it is one of my favorite classic reds. So just gonna add a drop on there. And then I'm going to use this kind of sparkly blue by OPI. It's Chills Are Multiplying. Get a drop on there. Okay, so for the first one, I'm just going to do some dotted lines. I'll do it on my pinky, so I'll use a smaller dotting tool. So I have my dotting tool here. You can also use toothpicks. Those make really nice small dots. So I'm gonna start with the red. My hands are a little shaky today, but that's okay. Down one side. Let's try a bigger blue dot. Don't want it too big though, so I'm gonna not press too hard. And then another row of red. Let's try. It's a small nail. Yeah, not too shabby. Gonna clean this off real quick. Okay. So that's not too bad. I'm gonna wait until that dries and then add a top coat if it would focus. Thank you. Okay, for the next one, I'm going to show you the tape. This can be a little bit time consuming, but I don't know, I think I like it. So, first, the hardest part is finding the end, which is right there. Now I'm just gonna pull a length out, and I got this in a pack of like, I don't know, 30 different colors from Amazon for really cheap. Too short. You don't want it to be too short, you kind of want it to hang off the nail a little bit. So let's just do next one down. Try to make it as straight as you can get it. Of course it's sticky and wants to stick to everything. I'm gonna grab my cuticle pusher to help kind of push it down into the crevices. You know, even that would be pretty cute, just doing one color down the bottom of that, but I want to go with more. I want to go crazy today. Find the end. And what I'm using to cut these are just a cheap pair of cuticle nippers that I actually got from Five Below. That's actually the cheapest place that I've found them so far. Let's do like... a little too crooked. There we go. You want to kind of make sure that it's pushed down enough that polish isn't going to get under it. But also remember, what's under the tape, which is my white, that's going to be what you see when you pull the tape off. So if you're going with white, just remember that white's going to be a little more than what you're expecting. So we're going to do, I guess, red on the top, white in the middle, and blue on the bottom. So the best way that I've figured out how to do this is make sure that there isn't, I'm going to clear that off, isn't too much polish on your brush. If there's too much, it's just going to kind of gloop everywhere. Okay, so I'm going to start with the red on the top. Again, don't want too much polish on there, because it will get very, very thick and gloopy. You don't want that. So I'm going to move this so I don't spill it everywhere. Always make sure you're working on a towel. So I'm just going to gently go in there. It's okay to get it on top of the tape. You just don't want to get it over it, which I may just have done, but that's okay. Just gently go around it. Check yourself. And it's okay to get it on your skin because we can always clean that off. So since I did get it on my skin, I'm just going to go around with the Orangewood Stick. It's probably going to be easier once I actually peel all the tape off, which is actually going to be right now. You don't want to wait until it dries. Then when you peel it off, it'll pull off the nail polish with it. So I'm going to take my little tweezers here. Just yoink that off. That's pretty straight. Look at me go. And of course the hardest part is getting the tape to stop sticking to everything. So now I'm going to take some nail polish remover on a Q-tip and just gently go around. Perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my blue, and I'm realizing I'm not taking my own advice. I should have made that middle section a little bit smaller. This is a brand new blue. Haven't actually used it yet, so I'm really excited. And always try to wrap the nail, which is when you go around the front of it like I just did. Some nail polishes you'll suffer with shrinkage, which means when it dries it kind of comes up the nail and exposes your natural nail. Alright, so just gonna take that and peel right off. Not too shabby. If you do it the other way around, it's a French flag, so vive la France, I guess. Let's see. Let's try to do maybe one of the big ones. Let's do a clear big one. Just like that. So for this, I'm actually going to use this nail glue, which this is a really fast drying brush-on nail glue. I'm not going to brush it on because it's going to be too big. So what I'm going to do is take a toothpick. Open it up. Just kind of get in there with the toothpick on the brushes. Make sure you have some glue on there. Yeah, not too much. You don't want too much glue underneath of it. Just gonna dab the glue where you want it to be. Attempt to grab your gem. And then push it on there. Sometimes it's even easier to use the back of your tweezers. Alright, and we're just gonna let that dry on there. Okay, for the next one, I'm gonna go with a little more of a geometric design with this stuff. I know it looks a little bit crazy now, but trust me. The nice thing about this tape is it's not so sticky that you can't correct it if you need to. Kind of just like having the tassels on there, not gonna lie. So now that I look crazy, I'm going to first take the red, almost called it yellow. Again, making sure there's not too much on there. And I'm just gonna paint right over all of this. At least on this side of that stripe that I made. And of course, take your time. There's no rush. So from there, before it dries, we're just going to take them all off. So now on the other side, I'm just going to take my blue. Not too much. Just do the same thing. Not too bad. I'm gonna come in and clean it up a little bit. Maybe I'll attempt some freehand. Big attempt on that. I tend to stay away from freehand because I don't have very steady hands. So we're gonna let that one dry while we wait. I'm gonna paint this last one blue as well. So while these two nails dry, I'm actually gonna go over the other three with my quick dry top coat. I'm interested in seeing how the gem turns out. I was trying to find out online how to really apply them, and some people say to put your top coat on before, some say after, so we'll try a little bit of both, I guess. Why not? Now, I find myself, if I have nail art, I want a little bit more top coat on my brush. I feel like it kind of seals it in rather than smears it like I just did. But that's okay. Reds, I feel, tend to smear a little more than blues. Kind of makes it look like a little drop. It's kind of weird, I love it. Alright, so that'll be dry in a couple of seconds. So I'm not really sure that I like it with the gem. Let's see if we can get that in focus. With the gem actually having the coat on top of it, it kind of makes it just look round, which I don't exactly hate, but kind of takes away from the sparkle of it. So I'm gonna add a little bit of sparkle to this one because you can't have too much sparkle. Not too bad. So just some white dots, why not? This time I'm going to use a toothpick instead. Move stuff out of the way. Try to keep a clearer workspace. It definitely makes it easier. So we're just going to dip it on in there. And I'm going to stick with more of a line. I used to be so afraid to try to do nail art, just in case I wasn't good at it, or it turns out not as good as I had hoped it would, but you know what, that's half of the fun. You know, you learn. When I first started doing dots, I couldn't even do this. It would turn out into a big old blob of goopy, gooey mess. Okay, so for the last nail, I'm still not very good at making freehand lines, but I will give it my best shot. My plan is to do a firework. So, first I'm going to take a little bit of glue. To have it right on in the center there. And find my bigger yellow one. Push that on down. Out on the edges, I'm gonna start putting down some smaller ones. Alright, so I'm gonna let those dry in place before I do anything else with this nail. So now that they're on there, I'm going to take this yellow, which is, I believe exotic birds don't tweet. Seem to be using a lot of OPI today. And a toothpick. Okay, so can she do it? We'll find out. Didn't leave myself a whole lot of space, so I might honestly just end up with dots. But that's okay. And it's a firework, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself for making super straight, clean lines. Maybe I'll add some more sparkles. So while that dries, I'm actually gonna add some sparkles to this nail too. Why not? So I'm gonna get my glue. Toothpick. I'm going to start using the other side. It's getting a little too gloopy. And let's do... I need a little more, I think. One on that center blue. And let's do outer, or you know what, let's do inner red. Some glue on there. Well, we might as well balance it out. feel compelled now to put a glitter on this one too. This is why I'm not allowed in the craft store. Let's do a tiny, what do you think, yellow? Yeah, why not? Life's short. And that's also the fun about the peel off base coat. If you don't like it, just peel it off. There we have it. Some very eclectic and fun nails for Independence Day. Again, this is Kaitlyn from the Cape May County Library, and as always, thanks for watching! Hey everyone, I just wanted to show you, for anyone who's wondering, what exactly the peel-off base coat does. So this is 24 hours after I filmed the first video. You can see that we've already lost one. But basically it makes it so you just have to gently push and it comes right off, no problems. You may have to clean up around the sides or underneath in the nail, but super, super easy cleanup, which I very much appreciate. Now, sometimes if you don't let it dry right, it gets a little more crackly, but still not a problem. Much less to clean up. And now all I have to do is go around the edges with a little Q-tip.